Okay, let's get this milling machine up and running. So barricade all your windows and doors with toilet roll, put your feet up and enjoy. And that's what I was finish off at the end of the video, the last video. It's the handle for the faster quill feed, and it has an internal taper on there that as you tighten the nut up, it grips the taper on the end of the shaft. There is another one of these on the fast reverse for the table. I'm not going to bother with that just yet. Finally it has arrived. I hasten to add, not from the company I originally ordered it off, because I got a feeling somehow that they weren't going to send it, so I ordered another one yesterday off a different company and it arrived today. So thank you to them. And the original company, you're rubbish. So that's where it goes basically. So I'm just going to push it in there. Let's just try and get it level. This is how I put the bearings in as well. Just try and get it as level as I can. So these things go in pretty easy. There we go. Lovely. Of course I realised as soon as I got the seal in, I had to put the shaft in before the seal. So I had to take the seal out again, put the shaft in, replace the seal. I've just tightened it down, the locking nut down onto the collar. I'm just going to tighten that on. Lovely. Let's go and put it in the head. Essentially that's it. We are there. The fine feed quill will also bring the handle down, and at the moment I've just got a nut on that, so I need a quick release arm like that to just knock it off rather than having to keep looking for the spanner to undo that. Like so. Ta-da! Yes guys, I know what it is, I know where it's come from, but we're not making engine parts for Rolls-Royce, you know what I mean? So I'm going to take the base off this vise, the swivel base, and just mount the actual vise onto the top. Yeah, a little bit of play there, probably improve that if I stripped it down. Okay, another day, another parcel. And this one is from my buddy Alan Pierce. He has a YouTube channel, Al Pierce's Machine Shop, I think it is. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check out Al. Al's an enthusiastic machinist. Whoa! Al. Wow, wow, wow. ER25 collet set. That is awesome. Utterly awesome. Oh, you naughty boy. Sent me some cutters. He sent me some cutters. Bull nose. Another bull nose. And another bull nose. Double flute. I have some cutters. I now realise that the cutters I have that came with the machine are so blunt because these are wickedly sharp. Wow. More presents. Looks like. Oh, Al, honestly mate, absolutely freaking thank you so much. Brand new. Wow. Wow. These cutters, you know, these are the cutters I was going to look for, because from reading up, double cutters cutters with 2 flutes are the cutters I need for drilling flat bottom holes in the knives to set in ball races, folding knives. The 4 flute. Al, you're a star. Wow. What even is that, mate? Ah, I suspect that will be for mounting, maybe in something like an indexing head. Am I right, Al? I don't know, but I assume that. Yes, it does. Oh, Alan, thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to make Al something anyway, so you can probably guess what that is. Let's get this on the machine and let us mill. Not so fast, I need a drawbar to hold the collet in. I've just found a bolt and sussed that it is an M10. So I'm just going to get an M10 rod. No need to go to the shop, I've got some M10 threaded rod. Slight problem. Oh, why is it always one step forward and one step back with this machine? It won't go down the quill. The quill is tiny. It did come with a drawbar, this machine, which is there. However, you can see the difference in thread size. So, to get around this, I'm going to turn this down to that diameter, leave the thread on the end, about 1 inch of thread, and then I'm going to push it up the spindle and bolt it from the top. Let's give that a go. I'm going to have to rig this camera better so you guys can see what I'm doing. It's been quite useful and instrumental, Al Pierce, on my centec lathe, because Al used to have a centec. I think he said it was one of his first milling machines that he got. So yeah, I've appreciated the advice he's given me. Right, so let me bring that out. 1 inch of thread, I'll leave 1 inch of thread or so in there. Should put a steady on there really, I suppose, but it's not doing much. I'll just run a file over it once I've put the thread. Ta-da! So I just need to put an M8 thread on that. I'll possibly make a couple of these things because this steady bar, I don't think it's that good really. I think that'll hold her. Right, I've put one of Al's 20mm cutters in. Speed, I'm going to set at, what, 890. I know I need some parallels under there or some blocks to hold that, but I haven't got anything at the moment. I'm going to have to get some gear together. I'm just going to try this. I'm going to do a very light pass because it's not supported underneath. Chattering a bit. I think that's because that's just unsupported. We'll we'll get there with this. We'll find that way of supporting that to stop that vibration. But Al, do you think, Al? Feels really smooth, apart from there where it just started chattering a bit. Oh, it feels really nice, that. Certainly just no effort cutting that. It's a 20mm slot. So this is about 3 days later, when I'd made a couple of parallels on the surface grinder, put them in just to support the work, and I'm about to do something for a knife. The guides, I have 3 guards to make for 3 kitchen knives. Well, they're not guards, they're kind of front of bolster type things. I've been dreading making these. The tinier they are, the skinnier they are, the skinnier the blades are, the worse they are to make, because you're going to get tiny little needle files in and clean them up. So easy. These cutters are random cutters that I've had for a while, and some of them came with the machine and most of them are not sharp. Look! That was so quick. That literally requires a little bit of fine tuning and it's there. Just fantastic and just absolutely square as square could be. Brilliant. Brilliant. You can see there that literally all I have to do is just square out the top and bottom of that. It's just utter perfection, guys. Utter perfection. Quick talk about the Vise. It is utter garbage, as I suspected, but it was like 55 quid. It's slightly out. I've had to put a little shim under that, and because the machining is out, it's pretty much within half a thou now across the top and the bed. I had to strip the Vise. These plates here actually lock the Vise down on its travel. The underside of them was horrible. It was just like covered in mill scale and corrosion. So I've took these off, put them on the surface grinder, got them beautiful and parallel. I then had to stone off the ways on the top part of the Vise so that the clamps would actually clamp the Vise to the base without the thing rattling up and down. There was probably 1/2 millimetre of play in it, and it is now locked on solid. As a consequence, it stiffened it up a bit, but it is actually holding now, and there's no nod in the head on it since I've machined them 2 clamps up. So it's okay now, but I will look out for a really good Vise. I can do that at my leisure now. Just keep looking on the listings, find a really good old Vise and get one of them. And this can do as a standby, or it can go on the drill press. I will just give you a quick tour around the mill. Basically, there are 6 speeds, all operated by this shift on the side here. On the other side is the low and high range shift, and then that one selects whichever gear you want, and the speeds are from 85, 195, 395, 595, 890 and 1400, and that's the top speed. I suppose you could get that more infinite if you was to fit a VFD and 3-phase on this. It's not something I would really consider doing, unless the actual motor packs in. The machine has got a forward and reverse through a, forgotten the name of the switch, it'll come to me. Okay, so along the table there is 10 inches of travel. There is approximately 4 inches of travel in that axis. I can never remember these X, Y and Z, which one's which. I think that's Z, isn't it? So there's approximately 6 inches between the cutter and the bed on this, hence why some people fit a riser block between the head and the body just to lift the head up a bit. There's more than enough room there for me for making knives. So there's the quill arm that I made. Back that off, and that's just for drilling. My only real issue at the moment is the gib screws. I keep calling them jibs, I think the gibs. Yeah, the gib screws. There is, on every part that needs a gib screw, there is either a damaged one that won't seat properly, or one with a chewed up head. On the actual knee, there's 2 gib screws there that are damaged and won't operate properly. There's one on this slide, and one of these is also got a chewed up thread. So I have ordered new gib screws, and hopefully when I can get all them snugged in and this set up properly, this will be a lovely machine. It is now, actually. The head on this machine, it tilts up to 90 degrees both ways. Just slacken them 2 nuts off at the back and you can tilt the whole head. And the knee is operated, as you saw, by this handle on the back. Very, very easily. The graduations on the dials are all in thousandths of an inch. They can be locked into position, resettable. I intend to fit DROs on 2 axes, and that is on the table in that direction and on the quill in the down direction. It's just so much easier than trying to work out thousandths of an inch, converting things into metric and back again. And it's just so simple, isn't it, to look at a readout and bring the quill down, whatever you need, and to take the table across 4.3mm is easy with the DRO. And there we are. I'm getting my lovely OCD wall of grey along this back. The next machine to strip will be the Elliott pillar drill, which I've had for about 6 years, maybe a bit longer. There is an oil leak on the shaft on this, on the back gear, which just eventually runs down and dribbles down the chuck. I want to fix that, and when I do, I'll strip this machine. As you can see, it's already grey, so we'll repaint that and repaint the replacement motor that was put on it. And that's the Centec. For me, this machine it will just be a big time saver. And the more you want to up your game making knives, the more time you want to spend on the finishing, and some of the mundane tasks and some of the really time consuming tasks like making guard slots and drilling, precision drilling and things like that, when you can get a mill that will cut that time down by a fraction. That little guard I milled, you saw how long it took, it was no time. And as I say, there's an hour to 2 hours work to get that kind of accuracy in steel or brass. So this is just going to be such a godsend for that, and for the accurate drilling I keep talking about. But it's a tool that I've wanted for a long time, and I'm so glad I've got one, you know, and it's been worth all the effort that it took to put this back together. It's a nice thing to have in the shop. It looks great against that Myford. I really want to thank Al Pierce for the collet set, the collet holder and the milling cutters he sent me. I really appreciate it, Al. Thank you. So that is about it for the milling machine for now, guys. Thank you to my patrons, and thanks all for watching. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the description. If you've got a Centec milling machine, 2A, 2B, I'd love to hear from you. Share your experiences with them. I'll see you all soon, okay? Bye for now. Stay safe out there with this nasty virus. Okay. Do people think that toilet roll is the answer to a virus? Oh! Bird flu.